Brother Ben here? Brother Ben. Now, Ben got a heck of a program. A lot of people listening to Brother Ben. And Ben tells them about the minister. And Ben tells them about the minister.
Assalamu alaikum, family. Welcome back to your morning power call. In the name of Allah, the beneficent and merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah. Muhammad is his messenger. I would like to greet you all with the greeting words of peace. Again, we said in the Arabic language of Assalamu alaikum, which simply means peace be unto you. Hopefully you all did the assignment from yesterday. How many of y'all did the assignment from yesterday's morning? Just comment me if you really did the assignment yesterday. If you really did the assignment yesterday, comment me. What is your money blueprint? Dang. So nobody. Well. Hopefully you guys will do it today then. Hopefully you guys will do it today. So I guess I'll start like this. The best way for us as we navigate through BWF, as we navigate your trading courses, your digital real estate courses, etc. The best way to not be overwhelmed is to really do the assignments. So the assignment was yesterday. Let's see. Under each section, it asks us to write down how this incident may have affected your current financial life. Each section talked about writing that down. But what I'm talking about specifically, remember I said, it was somewhere in the beginning. Where we was to write down all where is it? Yeah, write down how you believe these statements have affected your financial life so far. So we were supposed to write down a list of those things and how they affected us throughout the sections. So when we're reading, as we're reading these type of books, and it's asking us to do something, let's strive to do it. One of these I actually pointed out to actually do. I forgot which one specifically, but I remember like, hey, yeah, you guys do that. Not right now, but do it after the call. I remember saying that. But anyways, nevertheless, okay, just take action on whatever we are doing, and it just helps us execute even more. And what I was about to get at before I was trying to find a page. It's on several other pages to write it down, by the way, but it was one specifically I remember asking us to do. But in this principle, I want to stop here because this principle of what I'm addressing goes for any book. If there's an assignment, if there was a book that we're reading, I know the book may say, hey, write this down, and we may go over it, but it's saying write it down for a reason. It's asking us to do these assignments for a reason. If we are if we are reading any book and it's something that we don't understand, and we got to go back and we got to analyze what that paragraph, what that word was meaning, and I don't have time to do it right now, but I need to do it later, do it. Why? Because guess what's about to happen at 9 o'clock? Brother Tay's about to be live again. And guess what? He's going to say so many things that's new. And it's going to be resistance, support. Oh my goodness. RSI. Oh my goodness. What is this? Stock. Split the stock. Oh, shares. It's going to be a lot. And you're going to have to write down and go remember that stuff. And then you got to come back in the morning and hear it over and over again until you fully understand it. If you really want to grow, if you really want to grow your money, if you really want to understand the market. And then guess what's about to happen tomorrow? Sister Courtney's about to be live. And then Sister Courtney's going to talk about business. And then she's going to start introducing tax codes. Now we're going to try to slow roll it now. Slow roll it. Ah. My baby talk. Y'all, that's back in the day. Y'all don't know nothing about that. You youngsters out here, y'all don't know nothing about no Johnny Taylor now. I told y'all that I grew up in the 70s now. Now, then on Saturday, oh, you know Sister Alexis, oh, she hitting you with them wealth terms. Boy, we got to learn them wealth terms, man. Ooh, them terms be deep sometimes. See? And if you didn't do the little small assignment that took you maybe 20 to 30 minutes on Tuesday, you start to look at the end of the week, all you got to do. And we say, oh, this is so much. And we're going to do what you did with the last program. It's overwhelming. But do it have to be? If you just took 20 minutes, because that's all it really took, really, if 20, to just do the assignment. And get the assignment and digest it and get what you needed. And then last night I had digital real estate class, right? And those of you all who actually showed up for class, I gave y'all an assignment. Watch this hour video, maybe about 2-3 hours you need to watch. Maybe 3 hours tops. Hey, write down what you learned. So we really gonna have to get really organized with our time management. And when you have these assignments, to really execute on them, because again, we're going to try to go slow before we get advanced, but it's going to be on us to say, okay, I got to block out 30 minutes to knock this out ASAP. I don't have the time to procrastinate anymore because this thing is going to be moving. These books, when I read these books, I got to internalize that chapter, get it, execute on it, because we moving on to the next chapter. So if it's something that I didn't understand yesterday, I shouldn't be coming on here today not knowing. I should have last night. Let me go back to that, because that first paragraph, I didn't understand that. Let me go back, clear these words, define these words. Boom, I got it. Okay, I'm ready for tomorrow. That's how we're going to have to be to grow. So I'm just preparing us mentally, because as we prepare to teach y'all, as we prepare to grow this thing, there has to be some level of responsibility on the student to execute this stuff so that each next part is clicking. Okay, I got it. Make sense? Got it? All right. All right, here we go. So what we're going to be talking about today is, what is your money blueprint set for? What is your money blueprint set for? This is going to be deep. This is going to be deep. Okay, here we go. What is your money blueprint set for? All right, let's get to it. Which means the title is actually incorrect. I got to change the title. We're not talking about that. We talked about that all day yesterday. Okay. Now, it's time to answer the $1 million question. What is your current money and success blueprint? And what results is it subconsciously moving you toward? Are you set for success, mediocrity, or financial failure? Are you programmed for struggle or for ease around money? Are you set for working hard for your money or working in balance? Are you conditioned for having a consistent income or an inconsistent income. You know the scoop. First you have it, then you don't. Then you have it, then you don't. It always appears as though the reasons for these drastic fluctuations come from the outside world. For instance, I got a great paying job, but then the company folded. Then I started my own business and things were booming, but then the market dried up. My next business was doing super, but then my partner left, etc. Don't be fooled. This is your blueprint at work. Are you set for having a high income or a moderate income or a low income? Do you know there are actual dollar amounts for which many of us are programmed? Are you set for earning $20,000 to $30,000 a year? $40,000 to $60,000 a year? $75,000 to $100,000 a year? $150,000 to $200,000? Or $250,000 a year or more? A few years ago, I had an unusual, well-dressed gentleman in the audience during one of my 2-hour evening seminars. When the seminar was complete, he came over and asked if I thought the 3-day Millionaire Mind course could do anything for him, considering he was already earning $500,000 a year. I asked him how long he had earned that kind of money. He responded consistently for about 7 years now. That was all I needed to hear. I asked him why he wasn't earning $2 million a year. I told him that the program was for people who want to reach their full financial potential and asked him to consider why he was stuck at $500,000. He decided to come to the program. I got an email from him a year later that said, the program was incredible, but I made a mistake. I only reset my money blueprint to earn the $2 million a year as we discussed. I'm already there. So I'm attending the course again to reset it for $10 million a year. The point I want to make is that the actual amounts don't matter. What matters is whether you are reaching your full financial potential. I know many of you may be asking, why on earth would anyone need that kind of money? First, that very question is not overly supportive to your wealth and is a sure sign you will want to revise your money blueprint. Second, the main reason this gentleman wanted to earn massive amounts of money was to support his work as a huge donor to a charity that assists AIDS victims in Africa. So much for the belief that rich people are greedy. The name of the book is called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, and we are currently on page 41. Let's go on. Are you programmed for saving money or for spending money? Are you programmed for managing your money well or mismanaging it? Are you set for picking winning investments or picking losers? You might wonder, how could whether or not I make money in the stock market or in real estate be a part of my money blueprint? Simple. Who picks the stock or property? You do. Who picks when you buy it? You do. Who picks when you sell it? You do. I guess you've got something to do with the equation. I have an acquaintance in San Diego named Larry. Larry is a magnet when it comes to making money. He definitely has a high income blueprint, but he has the kiss of death when it comes to investing his money. Whatever he buys drops like a rock. Would you believe his dad had the exact same problem? Duh. I keep in close touch with Larry so I can ask him for investment advice. It is always perfect. Perfectly wrong. Whatever Larry suggests, I go the other way. I love Larry. On the other hand, notice how other people seem to have... Oh, impressive. Notice how other people... Where was I at? Other people seem to have what we termed earlier the Midas touch. Everything they get involved with turns to gold. But the Midas touch and the kiss of death syndromes are nothing more than the manifestations of money blueprints. Now, again, I want to pause real quick. I know this keeps saying money blueprint, but this is a principle for our life. These principles that's being taught may be why our relationships are the way that they are. Maybe why our impact is the way that it is. Maybe why our health is the way that it is. So although we keep hearing the word money and things of that nature, the reason our health may be the way and other things in our life may be the way that it is because of our blueprint about those things as well. So I just want to stop there and highlight so that as we're reading this, you can be thinking about other areas of your life, because somebody may be reading this saying, well, Brother Ben, I'm good. I'm making more than enough money. I'm really straight, brother, man. I don't, this is good. But so I want you to look at what area of your life is not good and what does need improvement, because these principles still apply to those areas as well. So I just want to give that side note. Once again, your money blueprint will determine your financial life and even your personal life. If you are a woman whose money blueprint is set for low, chances are you will attract a man who is also set for low, so you can stay in your financial comfort zone and validate your blueprint. If you are a man who is set for low, chances are you will attract a woman who is a spender and gets rid of all your money so you can stay in your financial comfort zone and validate your blueprint. Most people believe the success of their business is primarily dependent on their business skills and knowledge, or at least their timing of the marketplace. I hate to be the one to break it to you, but that's la la land, which is another way of saying not a chance. How well your business does is a result of your money blueprint. You will always validate your blueprint. If you have a blueprint that is set for earning $100,000 a year, that's exactly how well the business will do. Enough to earn you about $100,000 a year. If you are a salesperson and your blueprint is set for earning $50,000 a year, and somehow you make a huge sale that makes you $90,000 that year, either the sale will cancel, or if you do end up with $90,000, get ready for a crummy year to to make up for it and bring you back to the level of your financial blueprint. On the other hand, if you're set for earning $50,000 and you've bumped in a slump for a couple of years, don't worry, you'll get it back. You have to. It's the subconscious law of the mind and money. Someone in this position will probably walk across the street, get hit by a bus, and end up with exactly $50,000 a year in insurance. It's simple. One way or another, you're set for $50,000 a year. Eventually, that's what you will get. So again, how can you tell what your money blueprint is set for? One of the most obvious ways is to look at your results. Look at your bank account. Look at your income. Look at your net worth. Look at your success with investments. Look at your business success. Look at whether you're a spender or a saver. Look at whether you manage money well. Look at how consistent or inconsistent you are. Look at how hard you work for money. Look at your relationships that involve money. Is money a struggle, or does it come to you easily? Do you own a business, or do you have a job? Do you stick with one business or job for a long time, or do you jump around a lot? Your blueprint is like a thermostat. If the temperature in the room is 72 degrees, chances are good that the thermostat is set for 72 degrees. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Is it possible that because the window is open, it is cold outside, the temperature in the room can drop to 65 degrees? Of course. But what will eventually happen? The thermostat will kick in and bring the temperature back to 72. Also, is it possible that because the window is open and it's hot outside, the temperature in the room can go up to 77 degrees? Sure, it could. But what will eventually happen? The thermostat will kick in and bring the temperature back to 72. The only way to permanently change the temperature in the room is to reset the thermostat. In the same way, the only way to change your level of financial success permanently is to reset your financial thermostat, otherwise known as your money blueprint. You can try anything and everything else you want. You can develop your knowledge in business, digital real estate, in marketing, in sales and negotiations, in management. See, we can learn all this stuff you about to get in BWF. You can become an expert in real estate or the stock market. All of these are tremendous tools, but in the end, without the inner toolbox that is big enough and strong enough for you to create and hold on to large amounts of money, all the tools in the world will be useless. Now I'm gonna pause right there. I wonder if anybody's thinking in the comment section, is this why I've been in digital real estate and I haven't done as well as other people I keep seeing come in and they're making all this? They came in and in 2 weeks they made this amount of money. Damn, I've been in here 2 years and ain't did that. Guess what, family? They got the same curriculum you got. They got the same live classes you got. They got access to the same Drea that you got. They got the same scripts that you got. What's the difference? When you get in that trading class with Brother Tay, you learning the same tricks and tips that they got. You getting the support and the resistance training, same videos, same strategies, same concepts. But they made 400 what? I keep losing. What is it, y'all? We can't say it's the curriculum. You can't say it's the teaching because it's hundreds of people that's growing. What is it about me? How many of y'all been in the teachings? How many of y'all been in the teachings? I've been MGT since the 90s. I've been FOI since the 80s. Why haven't my life changed? And then you got this brother, you got this sister that just joined 3 years ago, and their life is thriving. What is it? See? What the minister say? Self-improvement is the basis for community development. See? So when he sends us to get auditing, there are people who say, look at what Farrakhan is doing. I can't believe he would do that. He's sending you there. He trying to make it. I hope y'all seeing why that's important now. You better say to hell with them people if what they've been saying been stopping you from going to get those things removed from our mind. Y'all, if that's what's been stopping y'all, you better say to hell with them. Here you sitting here. We've been sitting here. Well, I don't know if I want to go over there because what they going to think about me on social media if I let them know I've been getting some auditing. See, with the honorable, see? Here you go. You battling with it. Man, you better go get that. You better go get them old past thoughts handled because it's holding your life. It's holding our life back. How we was raised, what we saw, what we're thinking, what's going on in here is holding us back. You can go to this black business guy, this black that, whatever. Get all the training you can get. Go get all the strategies you can get. But if you don't get that internal strategy to remove it, bro, we are going to be stuck. And it's really scary to think about right now. Because some of us spend thousands of dollars on the tools. Thousands of dollars on those outside strategies. But if you're not spending it on the internal, bro, it's not that they bad, so they good tools to have. But unfortunately, you won't even be able to use them until the internal is done first. So you will have these courses, you will have these programs, you will have all this wealth of knowledge that can't even be used properly until you get self together. Many books, books on real estate, flipping and buying and wholesaling and this and that, and that's what's gonna change my life. What did the Honorable Elijah Muhammad say? Knowledge of self is the prerequisite to all other knowledge. That's what he said in the book. Now reading this book, I can appreciate what he says so much more now. Not because a white man said it, but now reading this and starting to understand how the mind works, I go back and I can remember in that chapter, he said, knowledge of self is the prerequisite to all other knowledge. Wow. Wow. That's deep. I get it now. So he says, study the operations of the white man. So when I see people who say, well, why would the minister send us to Dianetics and to get this done and to get this done? Did you not hear what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said? Or you just want to stay surface level, white man, devil, black man, God? That's surface level. That's so surface. So surface. So I've heard the minister say going there to get that auditing is the key that can unlock the supreme wisdom. Which principle-wise saying we have it. We got the supreme wisdom. We have good game that'll resurrect us, but there's something that needs to take place mentally, the science of the mind, something needs to take place mentally to unlock what we have. Yeah, we got a message to the black man. Yeah, we got our Savior has a right. Yeah, we got our problem book, the Muslim lessons and all this, but mentally we have some rusty locks. And if the rusty locks, if we don't get some of that rust off of it, man, we're gonna have the wisdom, we're gonna have the Quran, we're gonna have the Bible, but man, we gotta be unlocked to be able to utilize what we have at our hands so that we can go from quoting, how much is your land? 57,255,000 square miles, soldier. 139,685,000 square miles of water. Who's the original Asiatic black man making it on the cream of the planet Earth, brother? God of the universe. How you feel? Fine, sir. Yeah, we own it. We know how it go. We know the order now. But what do we have to do that when I say fine, sir, my life is really a reflection of fine, sir? See? When we say cream of the planet Earth and cream always rises to the top, well, what needs to take place mentally so that my life really reflects I'm rising to the top? See, in reality, some of us, how you doing, soldier? Terrible, sir. That's really what our life is really saying. Terrible like a mug, messed up like a mug, sir. So it's something mentally that got to take place so that the words that we're saying is a true reflection of our life. Okay, let's move forward. I just had to, boom. And I might talk about this at the prison. I'm speaking at a prison today, y'all, and I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm always like this. I don't know what I'm going to say. But a lot gonna let me know what I'm gonna say. I might take this book. I might go in with this book right here. Shoot, this stuff is good, man. It's good stuff, man. Go in, get, I don't know. We're going to put it together. I don't be knowing what to say sometimes, because when I have bullet points actually throw me off. Because I'll be thinking I'm about to say something, and then I look down, and I already said it. All right, here we go. Where was I at? See, I don't see what I'm saying? I get the spirit to take over, and I get to going in, and I come back to my notes, and I'll be like, dang, I already said that. So it'd be hard, because I really don't know where I'm at right now. You can own anything else you want, you can develop. Once again. Okay, let's I think we right here. Here we go. We right here. Once again, it's simple arithmetic. Your income can grow only to the extent that you do. Your income can only grow to the extent that you do. Somebody said, damn, I didn't realize how locked my mind is. This is good. I remember I was rolling with Brother Captain Dennis. He said, in order to heal, you have to expose and reveal. I said, that was smooth. In order to heal, we have to expose and reveal. So many of us didn't even realize this high. Man, that's what's going on in my mind. Now you finna start researching. Now when things happen in your life, you finna start thinking about, how does this correlate with my blueprint? How does what I'm thinking correlate with my blueprint? And you're going to start to fix it, and we're going to start to change it, and we're going to think differently. And along this journey of us reading, we're going to learn how to reprogram our mind and put different thoughts in, so that we're not thinking those old thoughts that's leading to our new, old same results. We're going to get it. We're going to get it. Oh, we're going to learn up in here. Oh, we're going to learn. Okay, here we go. Fortunately or unfortunately, your personal money and success blueprint will tend to stay with you for the rest of your life, unless you identify and change it. And that's exactly what we'll continue to do in part 2 of the book. Remember that the first element of change is awareness. Watch yourself. Become conscious. Observe your thoughts, your fears, your beliefs, your habits, your actions, and even your inactions. Put yourself under a microscope. Now, it says study yourself. Now, I gotta stop again. Bro, it's too much work. Too much we have to observe about ourselves to be so consumed with other people's lives, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro. When I tell people I don't watch basketball, because they assume because I play basketball, I grew up playing basketball, I was an All-American basketball player in college. They was like, bro, you don't watch basketball? Bro, it takes up too much of my time. I don't have time to be sitting here for 2 hours. And I got to balance. I do have to work on balancing my life. But, bro, reading this makes me say, bro, you got so much to observe, too much to do, to be sitting here. You're not where you need to be enough to be able to sit down for 4 hours and just relax, bro. Now, again, I may be very unbalanced, but my mind says, brother, you ain't where you want to be financially. You ain't where you want to be mentally yet. How can you take so many vacations? You got so much, man. You need to figure out where this mindset come from, where this blueprint come from, where this lack of action is coming from. Where is I stop saying I'm just a procrastinator. Where did it come from? So I got too much to discover about me to know who all did it been with. Who all been at Diddy party? How the hell I know who all been at Diddy party, but I don't know where my blueprint coming from? I don't know where these thoughts coming from in my own mind, but I know everything. I know what T.D. Jakes did. I know what this pastor did. I know what he didn't do. What? Find out why you didn't do what you did, what you were supposed to do. I'm just like, man, look at this. It's saying, watch yourself, become conscious, observe your thoughts, observe your fears, observe your beliefs, observe your habits, your actions. Man, that's a lot of stuff we got to do with just self. And we ain't even got into the self-improvement study guide, all of the activities we supposed to be doing in the self-improvement study guide. How do I have so much time to know what's going on with reality shows? And it ain't even reality. Hell, we the reality. Look, man, go look at that. Go turn on the mirror TV. You looking at unreality in whatever the word is, reverse reality called reality show. It's a script, and we being entertained with reality shows, and it's not even real. We need to be looking at the real in the mirror and changing our minds so that we can change our life. And then we complain about where we at and we not growing and we this and we that. Because, man, we not putting in this work. It's a lot of work we got to do. So you might have to skip some of the parties. You may have to skip some of the get-togethers. You may have to go find that time. Go look in your settings and look and see how much time am I spending on Instagram? How much time am I spending on Facebook? How much time am I spending on YouTube, and what am I watching on YouTube? See? How much time am I spending scrolling on TikTok? How much time? You may say, well, Brother Ben, I don't do none of that. Well, you at the dinner table 3-4 times a day. Fast. That time you were finna spend eating that chicken sandwich, don't eat today. Fast. And that you got you 30 free minutes of time. See, and you may say, oh man, that's great. No, this is how we gonna have to get to. If we really ain't got no time, well, man, fast for 2 days. Cause that's about an hour or two you can get from eating if you eat all the time. You can get you a lot of minutes back. And while you not eating, you can be studying, applying, and thinking. So we can go find the time now for self. Most of us believe, reading back in the book now, most of us believe that we live our lives based on choice. Not usually. Even if we're really enlightened, we might make just a few choices during the average day that reflect our awareness of ourselves in the present moment. But for the most part, we're like robots running on automatic, ruled by our past conditioning and old habits. That's where seriousness comes in. Consciousness is observing your thoughts and actions that you can live from true choice in the present moment rather than being run by programming from the past. Yeah, that's what we're going to get into today. By achieving consciousness, we can live from who we are today rather than who we were yesterday. In this way, we can respond appropriately to situations, tapping the full range and potential of our skills and talents, rather than inappropriately reacting to events driven by fears and insecurities of the past. Once you are conscious, you can see your reprogramming for what it is, simply a recording of information you received and believed in the past, when you were too young to know any better. You can see that this conditioning is not who you are, but who you learn to be. You can see that you are not the recording, but the recorder. You are not the content in the glass, but the glass itself. You are not the software, but the hardware. Yes, genetics may play a role, and yes, spiritual aspects may come into play, but much of what shapes you, who you are, comes from other people's beliefs and information. As I suggested earlier, beliefs are not necessarily true or false or right or wrong. But regardless of their validity, beliefs are opinions that are passed around and then down from generation to generation to you. Knowing this, you can consciously choose to release any belief or way of being that is not supportive to your wealth, and you can replace it with one that is. In our courses, we teach that no thought lives in your head rent free. Each thought you have will either be an investment or a cost. It will either move you towards happiness and success or away from it. It will either empower you or disempower you. That's why it is imperative you choose your thoughts and beliefs wisely. Realize that your thoughts and beliefs aren't who you are, and they are not necessarily attached to you. As precious as you believe them to be, they have no more importance and meaning than you give them. Nothing has meaning except for the meaning you give it. Recall how at the beginning of the book I suggested you don't believe a word I say? Well, if you really want to take off in your life, don't believe a word you say. And if you want instantly enlightenment, don't believe a thought you think. Meanwhile, if you're like most people, you're going to believe something. So you might as well adopt beliefs that support you, rich beliefs. Remember, thoughts leads to feelings, which leads to actions, which leads to results. You can choose to think and act like rich people do, and therefore create the results that rich people create. The question is, how do rich people think and act? That's exactly what you'll discover in part 2. Y'all ready for this? Declaration, put your hand over your heart. I observe my thoughts and entertain only those that empower me. I observe my thoughts and entertain only those that empower me. I observe my thoughts and entertain only those that empower me. Now touch our head and say, I have a millionaire mind. I have a millionaire mind. I have a millionaire mind. And that wraps up that section of our reading. Do anybody have anything that you would like to share? Go ahead and press the number 1 at this time. If anything stands out to you that was said today, press the number 1 if you have anything that stands out for you today. I know a few people that should have some things that stands out for them. All right, let's start with Sister Yolanda. Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all can't unmute yourselves. Okay, try now.
Ooh-wee. My. In the beginning, one of the speakers mentioned you don't get discipline from external forces. You get it from you. And when you just read in the book, it was mentioned most of what shapes you comes from others. I might be paraphrasing because I can't remember what the last end of the sentence was. My. I oftentimes ask myself, how you feel about you? Regardless of what others think, what do you think? And what I'm hearing and what's being repeated in us moving into this building wealthy families, as well as implementing the teachings and working on self, mind, my mind. And I believe someone mentioned in the chat, the renewing of the mind. Wherever you are in age, it's a real thing to unlearn what you thought you were taught properly, unlearning all of that to relearn properly, be reintroduced to self. I have been reintroduced to myself over these past couple years, and it really delving in as I have connected to this power call. I'm like, wow, So all of the elements, and even in the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad through our great leader, teacher, and guide, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who is a awesome example of where we're striving to be. It's real. And it's going to require the discipline, which is going to come from me. It's going to come from me. So as you mentioned, getting my schedule together. I got to put practical steps into this thing. I got to start with me first, and then I'm gonna work on the wealth as well. But I got to really dig into myself. I got to put my teachings into practical application, as well as building a wealthy family, because they all coincide. Everything we deal with, in my opinion, has a spiritual base to it. And if I am not connected, I'm gonna keep running into these dead end brick walls and this procrastination spirit and whatever other spirit that comes to impede my progress. If I don't put into practical application what I'm on the call for, what I joined to help build my nation, it's no time for excuses no more, Sister Yolanda. Down to my eating. I shouldn't be engaging in anything to an extent of that's going to cause me to be sleepy. Like that's yesterday, I had the spirit of sleepiness and laziness. I didn't know what was going on. So I had to check myself when I woke up this morning. What did I eat yesterday? Because I don't have time to be sleeping in the middle of the evening. I got work to do. I ain't got time for that. Get on the way from me. So this blueprint, as you mentioned, the principle, it don't only start with my money. It starts with me. What is the blueprint of me? I got to implement a new blueprint and follow it and bring it into those 4 key elements of change: awareness, understanding, disassociation, and recondition. I'm under construction. Y'all better watch out. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. All right, let's go to Brother Wesley.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum, family. What stood out to me that I would like to highlight, because all of it stands out to me as well. It goes back to, and really camelbacks on what Sister Yolanda was speaking on in reference to that blueprint. And when I think about the blueprint, as you touched on as well, how everything is connected, you may not have a financial issue that this book is speaking to. It could be a relationship issue. It can be a spiritual issue. It could be whatever it may be in your life, that you have a blueprint or a basis that you're moving out on. And the first thing that came to my mind was what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad has taught us as well, that whoever controls the diameter of your knowledge dictates the circumference. I'm paraphrasing. I'm not quoting it correctly, but I look at that blueprint as that diameter of my knowledge, of my ability. If I'm looking subconsciously as this is my ceiling, as the book was bringing out, that you may have a ceiling or a illusion of making 50,000 a year. You may have a contract that gets you $49,000 in that one, and you're only going to then work to get another 1,000, and you good, you content, you complacent. So being able to expand out of that subconscious thought of this is what I deserve, this is where I work out of, and being able to see the true potential that is in myself, also expanding my horizon and learning new skills to expand my blueprint, expand my territory, so to speak, as well, so that I move out further beyond those constraints that I may have created in my mind, where I may say I'm only good for this, or I'm only able to reach this, and I don't deserve to go beyond this, based off of those, as we spoke on yesterday, on what may have been passed down, those patterns that may have been passed down to me, that, oh, my parents haven't made more than 100,000. My parents haven't started a business, so I don't necessarily deserve to have a successful business because I don't have that as a basis in my genetics. But understanding that blueprint has to be rewritten. And that stands out so much. And that's in everything. Like I said, even in relationships, me personally, I've been divorced before. So before becoming into the nation, I was jaded when it came to certain relationships, because I'm like, I don't want to necessarily be hurt again. So I'm now putting on another person the pressure or even the expectation that you're going to do the same thing that this previous person has done. I've created or was creating a certain blueprint that was dictating how far I was willing to go, or how transparent or vulnerable I was willing to put myself in order to grow beyond where I was at. So it's so much, and I love how we continuously bring it back to that. This is not just about finances. That is an aspect of improvement that we need to do, because we do live in a real world that does, as brother student minister Nuri said, money isn't everything, but it's right up there with oxygen. Understanding that we are in a real world, that you are going to need finances to do things, but understanding that these patterns in our life, these thoughts that we have, dictate everything that we do in all of our life as well. So all praise is due to Allah. That's one thing that stood out to me, and I'll pass it on to the next person.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. Great points. Sister Shireen.
Assalamu alaikum. Let's see. The refuge prayer, where we Surah 113, where we seeking refuge from the evil of the envier when he envies. A lot of us, well, me, right? Growing up, when you have a level of success, or you have a skill, a talent, beauty, long hair, light skin, whatever it is that wakes up the green-eyed monster in other people, it causes us to retreat, right? It caused me to retreat when I had to deal with certain things growing up as a Black girl. And I learned early to just turn down, hide my light under a bushel basket. And so those things carry over, it spills over. So if I think I'm turning down in school, well, that also turned me down in the money mindset as well, because if I don't want to bring attention to myself for excelling and doing well, then I'm going to do that in every area of my life. And I didn't understand those principles, of how I thought and how it makes manifest in all the areas. So it does happen in relationships, and it does happen, with performance. And so there are so many of us in our community that have learned how to become dull, so we will not attract the negative attention. And so, like, when the minister was saying how the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad would tell him who he was, and he believed it for everybody else, but he did not believe it for himself. And that's a lot of us now. So we really are walking in the footsteps to go to that right direction. So it's okay that we didn't see it for ourselves, because now we are walking behind a man who had that same experience. But look at him now. He wearing gold suits and stuff. You know what I mean? And he's getting gold for his gifts. So we're on the right track, because now we're in the process of renewing our minds and renewing our experiences. So it's okay, Sister Shalon, that we missed a few steps along the way, because now we have a little bit of age behind us, and we have a little bit more wisdom, and now we can apply it, and we can become confident, and we can say our refuge prayers. And if they don't like it, oh well, sorry for you, but I'm not going to keep diminishing myself to make you feel good about yourself if you're not trying to level up. I'm trying to level up, because that's what the God came to show us how to do. That's it. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Sister Shalon.
Okay, so assalamu alaikum, family. This blueprint is this word is stuck in my head. Thank you, Sister Shireen, for that one, because yes. Okay, this blueprint, what is my blueprint set for? one part, and then when you spoke about the blueprint, the word that came up to my head that I associated with that is excuses. It's like, what excuses do I keep pulling up or manifesting, or what is it that I'm doing that my blueprint seems to be off? And I just experienced something a few days ago that really showed me that I was a little bit. I've gone off track a little bit on one end with regard to you said inappropriate reactions, and as soon as I heard that, it immediately brought me to my mindset because I just recently experienced something and I responded in a way that I questioned afterwards. It's like, what made me respond like that? What made my action to me after thinking about it and looking back inappropriate? And it's because of my mindset. And I'm growing tremendously. I'm well aware of that. But still, I know that there's some part that's just a little bit off. I remember you and I always hold on to this impact before passive impact before passive income. And here it is. I know that I'm looking for income to come in, but here a little while ago, I focused so heavy on the income instead of the impact because I wanted so badly to make some things happen. And I responded, I have to go back and intending on going back to correct that inappropriate reaction. I haven't got to it yet, but this here message this morning is really putting it deep in my head that I have to go back to not focusing so much on this money, even though we all know we need money. We just talked about that. That's a necessity. But me focusing on it in my head, someone used the word hustle. And when I hear the word hustle, makes me cringe to some degree because I'm thinking that as a woman, that's not my nature. I know we're supposed to go get the bag, as they say, but when I hear hustle, I feel masculine. And when I heard that word not too many days ago, I think it put me into that masculine mindset that I don't want to be in. I've had to be masculine so much. So part of my blueprint set for myself is to get back into my feminine nature. And I don't know if that ties together, but I have to reintroduce myself. But when I heard Sister Yolanda say reintroduce myself, my thought was like, I don't know if I want to reintroduce what it is that I've experienced in with Brother Wesley mentioned about the genetics of my past and the past poor mindset and the poor life I had growing up. I don't want to revisit any of that. I don't want to reintroduce that part of my life. I want to just introduce myself in a total different way, especially with the thinking incorporating this blueprint mindset. So yeah, I absolutely know and I feel you, Yolanda. I got you. I promise you I do with the reintroduction of myself. Yes, I have to change. It's all about changing mindset. So because I've been in this far too long for things to not have progressed as I know they should have because I'm sticking with it. My whole thing is I'm sticking with it till I get it. But to keep sticking with it and still being stuck in the same spot, I know I've made some progress. I got it. But it's just it's still so much more to get. And this auditing, I already know when the minister brought that it was the clear blockages. I well aware now since it's been so long that there's definitely some blockage going on and I just have to get back into that auditing because I don't have a problem with it. I know the value and the greatness of it. So these spirits that are impeding my progress, I have to find out what these spirits are that I have adapted, that I have allowed to become a part of me. It's I have to figure this stuff out because it's been far too long. And I don't want to be acting inappropriate to my doggone self, impeding my doggone progress. Things have got to change. And oh, this blueprint, I have to reprogram this blueprint because it's off balance. It's off track. Yeah, I'll pass the mic on that, but I've got some mental blockages that I have to get audited up out of me. So yeah, I'll stop there.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, ma'am. Sister Marvina.
Good morning. Assalamu alaikum, Better Ben. Very happy to be here. I'm driving to work right now. Been listening here. Um, I've actually read this book about 2 years ago, and I have it at home. And two things that stood out to me. One being where it spoke about like your mind being aware of, and I'm paraphrasing, being aware of what you allow into your mind. For me, that has been like a challenge. Sometimes, you have to be aligned your mind consistently because you may experience certain distractions in your life. What is your work or job or negative comment or um, a family member or a friend or something that someone said or thought that may come into your head, and that thought is not true. So for me, it's been the battle with the mind, staying consistently focused and motivated. So even coming to joining BWF, I've been following you for years. Even joining here, it's part of me realigning my mind. And I also get up in the morning, try to work out, try to eat right. I've been doing that, but just hearing you. Sometimes you have to read books more than once. And to realign your mind and stay consistent in what you allow into your mental. So that was one of the things that stood out to me, just aligning yourself back up and staying in the word, staying around positive people that are trying to accomplish some of the same things you're trying to accomplish. And then the second thing lastly that stood out to me was your money mindset. What are those false beliefs you were taught from, or observed? You may have not been taught it, but you was observed it from when you was a child or growing up. And for me, it was I'm from another country. I'm from Liberia, West Africa. And for me, we came to this country pretty much with nothing. So my family had always worked hard, made money, but that money management and paying your bills, sometimes we'll have the lights off or opening the stove to get heat and stuff like that. Sometimes the water would be off. And these are, to me, growing up as a young girl, we grew up in Boston, Massachusetts, and it's just like seeing those things happen where everyone was living, it was a group of us living in the same home, my uncles, my aunts, my grandmother, and seeing all of them working so hard, but yet couldn't make ends meet. So to me, was it a poor money management? Was it lack of funding? Income? So I seen those things happen, and there was that fear of me growing up why, I wanted to they did the best they knew how to do with what they had. So for me, now I'm doing much better than they did, but I do see some traits where I'm a giver. So, like I've been taught, like I give a lot. I try to help people, but sometimes you got to have discernment on when to give and when not to give, and when to give and when not to give. And the fear of lack of, and whenever I catch myself in that fear of not having enough, that's when I know that that's a sign to me that I'm out of alignment, because I shouldn't have a fear of lack of. I work in IT. Every year I've written down how much money I wanted to make in 1 year, and I think 2 years ago I wrote down 250K. I didn't say how, And a year later, I looked at my journal. I made 250K, but I worked 2 jobs and I was working hard. So I said, okay, God, I didn't say how I wanted to make it. So now just realigning the mental and trying not to get distracted and focusing, okay, that saw that in the book where he said you could get to a certain point in your income and then it always go back down. So I made 250K and then I came back down to where I'm at currently now. Um, and it's true with that thermometer. If you don't realign or focus yourself, or you only aim, and you didn't focus on how it was going to get there, it will come back down. So those are the about 3 things that stood out for me. I'm just really happy to be here and to meet everyone. Um, I'm not in the nation of Muslim, but my father's Muslim. He's from Lebanon, and he's Muslim. But I follow the teachings, and who knows? We'll see what happens. So thank you for having me, and I look forward to learning and growing with you all. I look forward to this power call every morning after I drop my daughter off. Every morning, I'm looking forward to what we're gonna learn, what's gonna be said, and so thank you for everything. That's all.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Brother Daniel.
Brother Daniel.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I don't know if this is mine, but there's a double voice. Okay, praise be to Allah. I think it stopped. So many important and salient points have been raised. Focusing on what I was thinking about, just the subject itself, the blueprint, not economic, but blueprint, which it does point to economics. What stood out to me was you measure the blueprint by the results. So if the results are negative, adverse, not favorable, then that's a clear indicator of where the mind is with the blueprint. It reminds me of what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said about intention. He said, and this was in a closed meeting, but it's something that can be said. He said, we are no longer being judged by intention, but by results. And then he also said, and the young brother who processed it pointed this out to me, though I've heard it many times, but when he said it, I was like, oh, okay. He said, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So it makes me think about what you said, Brother Ben, when you talked about how long you're on social media, what things are you willing to give up? And he said, I don't have time to do this and do that. Then you said that might be imbalance. And I thought to myself, no, the imbalance is what the world has us doing all day long and being unproductive. Giving some of those things up is helping us find balance because we're in a world that has us completely imbalanced. And I thought about how when we don't do the things necessary for success, we have good intention, but we never make good on it. So here we are headed the road to hell because the intent is not enough. We have to make good on our intentions so that we can get the necessary results. So that really stood out to me and also made me think about why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave us the economic blueprint, reforming the mind to think a certain way about money. And he made it very simple and easy to do to reshape our thinking. And as you said, brother, this is not just talking about money, but when we really reform our mind based on the blueprint of success, then this blueprint could be transferred and equated to anything in our life. I think about an engineer or an architect more so, or an engineer that has a blueprint, then he has the blueprint over to the workers, to the artisans, to the persons who's going to build. They have to follow their blueprint to construct this building. If they deviate at all from the blueprint of the engineer, from the blueprint of the architect, the building is going to be flawed. The foundation may be so weak, the building might collapse soon. So the blueprint of anything is so very, very important. And I can remember in one of our messages where we were told, I think it was Brother Nuri was teaching, and he was talking about how Master Fard Muhammad began to make copies of himself, and how the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is a blueprint. How the Honorable Minister Farrakhan is a blueprint, a copy, and if we copy the blueprint, then we'll be successful. So it just makes me really look at the things in my life that are continuously going wrong. That's a clear indicator that something in the blueprint has to change so that I can change and get better results. And once those results reflect the blueprint, then I can move to the next level. Thank you, fam.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Let's see who's up next. Sister Tornisa.
Assalamu alaikum. I relate this everything back to how to eat to live. Cooking is a blueprint. The messenger left us a blueprint. Master Fard Muhammad gave us a blueprint. And if we study the blueprint, we'd be successful. How to eat to live will help us to live long life and life in abundance. If you're baking and you don't follow the recipe, it's not like food that you can go back and add salt and stuff back to it. That's not the same thing, because baking is a science. Cooking is an art. If you don't have the right ingredients, it will not rise. It will not take its form, shape like it's supposed to be. So we're taught that Islam is mathematics and mathematics is Islam. What math were we doing? It seemed like our math is off. Everything is not mathing. And so one of the things that stood out to me was it says it's simple arithmetic. Your income can grow only to the extent that you do. Your personal money success blueprint will be that will stay with you for the rest of your life unless you identify it and change it. How to eat to live. God came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, and he gave us a blueprint on how to eat to live. If we're not eating properly, we're not going to be able to change it. We must change it by changing the way we eat, changing the way we think. Thought is not rent-free. I had a hair salon, and I would teach my clients that information is not free. It's either going to pay for it or get paid from it. It's not free. But it's the same thing. Your income can only go to the extent that you do. Information is not free. It's either you get paid for it or pay for it. No thoughts live in your head rent-free. Each thought can either be an investment or a cost. It depends on you. It could be either towards your happiness and success, or you could go away from it. So it depends on if we want success. And so that tells me I need to really work on practicing my mindset, my blueprint, change my blueprint. Like I change how to eat to live. I'm practicing how to eat to live. And so with that being said, if I'm not going to change the way I eat, change the way I think, and I don't have the mental food and it's right before me, but I choose not to put it in my mouth, who can I blame? The messenger, the minister, Master Fard Muhammad is our blueprint. So who do we choose to follow? Where's our math? Is our math mathing? And if not, then that's up to us to make sure we have that change. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Sister Cynthia.
Yes, sir. Yes, I mean, this really hit home because just like you said, I spent thousands of dollars trying to get this and I really didn't get it. And I was raised different. I mean, I had everything. My dad made sure, and my mom, she was always there and she taught us right. But once they were gone out of my life, everything changed and I felt like I had to do for others and not do for myself. So my main problem is trying to help others and putting them before me. And man, this really brought it home. I have to start taking care of me first before I can take care of anybody else. Put me first before I start to help anybody else. And until I do that, I will be stuck in the same place. So I'm so glad I heard this message this morning because I needed this. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Let's go to Sister Sherry. All right, let's go to Sister Gwen.
Assalamu alaikum, family.
Alexa.
Listening to this morning, I was thinking about my life overnight, and it seems like you are right. My life has been in a fog. We are running on autopilot. You go to work, you pay your house note, you pay your car note, and then what else do you do? Where else do you go? I have thinking about my life, I have been reactive instead of proactive. I wait for things when things happen, then I'm oh, let's scramble around and see how to fix it instead of not letting it some things that you can control get that way in the first place. So I'm looking forward to I wasn't born in a nation, but I am in processing. And I'm looking forward to auditing because I really want to see, like I keep saying, I'm excited to meet myself because I don't know who I am. I don't know who I've been. All I know is I've been a mother, I've been working, I've been living. And is it really living? So I'm excited and I just purchased this book and I cannot wait for it to come so that I can read it again and again and highlight things and come back later and see if I did change. That's all. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Looking for who's next. Brother Hustle, workaholic.
Peace, family. Peace. I don't even know how to do that. This is serious, man. This is some serious. You know, as I listen to everything that you read, it all stands out to me. Um, One part that grabbed me word for word is, let me see. I had it right here in front of me. Did I turn the page? Nope. 50,000. You know, your success. It says, so again, how can you tell what your money blueprint is set for? One of the obvious ways is to look at your results. It says, look at your bank account, look at your income, look at your net worth, look at your success with investments, look at your business success, look at whether you're a spender or a saver, look at whether you manage money well. Look at how consistent or inconsistent you are. Look at how hard you work for your money. Look at your relationships that involve money. Um, Man, I've been doing what I do for a long, long time, and sometimes I see successful days or weeks, sometimes successful months, and then uh, the next part of that grabbed me was how you could be up and then go right back down to pretty much the same area, um, handling the same amount of money, doing the same thing. Same thing. I don't know if I'm echoing, but I am. So just looking at all of this, man, makes me think. I listen to you say, we read the same book, we got the same curriculum, we got everything pretty much the same, and some of us excel and some of us don't. And you wonder why. So, man, this is home. I remember reading in class, Think and Grow Rich, and then I could hear Think and Grow Rich, but I couldn't understand Think and Grow Rich because I was looking for that aha moment. And looking for that aha moment, I was missing what was being said. Uh, and it's all about self analysis. How you hit with a bunch of responsibilities and you try to keep up with that. But in trying to keep up with that, you don't stop to look at what's important. So looking at how good an audit would be, that you can go in and start to drop off some of the negative forces that guide you. Getting to the audit is the thing. You know what I'm saying? Taking your time to notice that you got to do something to break this cycle. That's the biggest key. Last night when you passed out the assignments, it was simple. Just read. Read what I've already put out there. Study that. And analyze what you read. And then go back and complete the assignment. That's the same as saying we got the same books. I'm laying it out here. So the fact that your day-to-day chase can get in the way of what you're trying to do, and your day-to-day chase is necessary until you can do better. That's a serious thing to put in check, because at some point you got to stop chasing and start putting the pieces together to make them work. Man, I can go on and on and on, man, but I think I just really did. I said what I needed to say today. And again, man, every time I appreciate what you're doing. You got my attention when y'all read the Holy Quran from cover to cover. I remember looking at a lecture where the minister said, anybody that's read the Holy Quran from cover to cover, we was already standing. He said anybody that have read the Holy Quran from cover to cover, stay standing. And then he told everybody to sit down, basically. And Mother Tynetta was the only one left standing, because that's what she used to do. She used to read the Quran from cover to cover. When I seen y'all do it, that grabbed my attention. You had me right there. So, again, bro, I appreciate what you're doing.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you. Something that stood out that he said was that through reading Think and Grow Rich, he was looking for an aha moment. And all times when we read these success books and millionaire books and money books, some of us are looking for the aha moment. And what came to mind is that the aha moment is all throughout the book, but because we think the aha moment is something outside of ourselves, we miss it. The aha moment is that there's something that needs to change on the inside. There's not this magical thing that we can go buy, this magic strategy that's just going to change our life if something isn't changed internally. The reprogramming, the auto-suggestion, the faith, the belief that the books talks about, the writing it down and reading it every day, those are all aha moments. Those are literally the things that are changing the mindset to keep it at the forefront of the mind. When Bob Proctor talks about you read this and you read this and it raises your vibration and it raises your frequency, then you start to attract different things. Like that's really the keys that we missing. But we think those the cheesy things. So I wonder how many of us have written down. I'm going to ask. How many of y'all have read Think and Grow Rich? Press the number 1. How many of y'all have read Think and Grow Rich? Press the number 1. All right. Didn't finish. Okay, now look at all those number 1s, y'all. Now, I need y'all to be honest about this next part. I need y'all to be honest about this next part right here. Now, how many of you all right, y'all can stop now. How about this? How many of you all do not do this? If you do not do this, I want you to put me in the comment section. Let me finish reading it first and then comment me if you do not do this. If you have not fixed in your mind the exact amount of money you desire, what are you going to give? Wrote down what are you going to give to receive that money in return? Establish the date. If you have not created a definite plan and execute, if you have not written out your statement stating how much you desire, the time limit, and what you intend to give to get the money, and if you do not read the statement out loud every day you wake up and every day you go to bed, if you do not do that, comment me. Now, I've seen some of y'all say, I haven't read the full book. You didn't even have to read the full book to get those instructions. So when we think about, man, I read this. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. I read this. Now, those are basic instructions. Hey, man, write this down. When you get up in the morning, read it in the morning, read it when you go to bed. Look at how many of us are not doing it. But we wonder why I'm not improving, why I'm not growing. Well, man, this can't work because you're looking for everything else outside of you as the solution. You don't realize that rewiring your mind and rewiring you is the answer. We don't believe it. So what stops us from doing something so simple? See what I'm saying? So we can read Think and Grow Rich. You can get the science of getting rich. You can get this. You can get this. But how many of us are going to do it consistently? So the aha moment is in here. Is in here. And we thinking, I'm finna read something that's I'm finna read a tactic. I'm finna get the keys wait, hold on. Just write that down. Hold on, just think about that. Hold on, just determine what I want. Write it down, make it plain. Read it when I get up. Read it in the morning. Auto-suggesting. Program my subconscious mind to think this, then think this, and think this. That's it? Nah, couldn't be. See? Because we thinking it's something on the outside external that's going to just magically change me. So if anybody, any of us, because it's not just y'all, any of us who not where we want to be, think about all the books we done read, man. Think about all the lectures we done read, man. How many of them are we applying, y'all? Who cares that we've read the book? As I said years ago, it's not about how many books you've read. What I say, y'all, it's about how many pages you've applied. You can read, we can read the entire book every month, but if we don't apply, y'all, we kind of wasting our time, man. So let that be an example. If you felt something when that happened, damn, I read the book and I ain't even doing it. Man, I'm not even doing it. Let this be the day we say, you know what? Hey, man, what's the worst that can happen? We already ain't been making more money than we want. What is the worst that can happen by you just doing it and for the next, what is it going to hurt? Just try it. Just say, at least come back a year later, say, Brother Ben, man, I applied all these 3 books I've been reading for the last 365 days and my life gotten worse. What's the worst that can happen? You was already bad. What's the worst that can happen? That you you probably ain't gonna go back. You're gonna probably stay the same. What's the worst that can happen? Just try it. What's the worst that can happen? I'm gonna go ahead and try this Eat to Live. What's the worst that can happen? Man, let me finally write down my goals. Let me finally write a plan together. Let me finally have a plan, write down the plan, set a timeline, read it every day. What's the worst that can happen? See? So that we all just witnessed in the comment section. All of us read the books. That saying, all these is inside the book. All those steps is inside the book. But then we all said, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. What are we doing to our future self? Because we're not harming and stopping nobody but our future self. When we say, I ain't going to do it, you taking away from your future self. So here's the question. I'm willing to bet that especially you mothers, fathers too, but mothers just got that more personal connection. If you had to do something for your daughter, you would do it. Matter of fact, you've already done it. You've sacrificed. You went without paying the bills. You went without eating yourself. You went without getting your own clothes. You went without your own love. You went without taking vacations. You have literally put yourself in a position to where you was uncomfortable so that your baby was comfortable. Without hesitation, huh? Because of the level of love that you have for your child. Well, what level of love do you have for your future self? See, we'll do all this for our child. We'll sacrifice for our child. If our baby cries at 2 a.m. in the morning, I'm up. If our baby's in pain and I got to stay up to 3 o'clock in the morning consoling my baby, I'm up. But when they said study, I got to go to bed at 10. I'm strict. I can't stay up for me. I can't go the extra mile for me. Me learning and growing don't give me energy, but let my baby be crying. Let my baby need help with something. I find the energy to stay up and be there, but I can't be there for myself. Why is that? Lack of love. See, so the minister said knowledge of self leads to respect, love for self. He said, how can you love what you don't know? I mean, just think about this. We sacrifice so much for everybody else. But I don't want to study for me. I can't stay up for me. I can't sacrifice for me. Why? Why? We'll study to become a better parent. We'll feel guilty. Oh, my baby. But feel guilty for me. Because guess what? Here's the mindset shift. The better I am, the better I can be for my baby. The better I am to my future self, the better I can be for my baby in the future. So we got to figure out what that is, where I can't do for me. I can't sacrifice for me. So I just want to drop that on us. Just want to sprinkle that on us a little bit. Let's go to Sister Gina.
Assalamu alaikum. Yes, I just wanted to say, like the sister said, that we will do everything for others before we do for ourselves, what we were just talking about. And, you know, learning yourself and being able to accept what you hear about yourself, it's hard. You know, example, my son kept telling me I'm a hoarder. I'm a hoarder. And I'm like, no, I'm not. This is that, and that, no, always make an excuse. And then an outsider came in and said, because we're selling our house, and he said, you got to declutter. You got to get rid of this. You got to clean this house. And I'm like, oh my God, you know, I really am, huh? You know, so, and I prayed to Allah and asked him to help me let go. And then, and actually this happened last week. And then when I went to MGT class, and our instructors was saying something about don't be so attached to the material things. And to me, that was Allah confirming, yes, you need to let go. So by his grace and mercy, that's what I've been doing. I've been cleaning this house out, started on Monday. And, you know, it's, but one of the things I have discovered, like you said, Brother Ben, about taking care of ourselves, I am going to make it my business. I need to get audited. I need to get audited. And I mean, it's been so long and so many things have changed in my life and so much weight has been put on my shoulders that I've got to get rid of. I know I got crazy Ingram sitting up in my head. And New York and now Florida, they're both on my backs. They want me to come on board. And I'm just like, until I take care of myself, and like I've told some of the sisters, I can't audit nobody until I take care of myself first. So that, and being in this community is helping me to really realize and helping me to really now want to make my commitments to help me get better first before I can help anybody else. So I just wanted to share that because it was sitting on my heart, and as I'm listening to everybody talk, and it's true. It's a hard thing. It's a hard thing to realize things about yourself and accept them and change them. I'm 67, so I got a lot of work to do because I got a lot of stuff inbred in me. So you know, that auditing has to be first to help me change my mindset. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Sister Sherry.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Yes, sir. The sister just said a lot, really a lot right there. But when Brother Ben, when you mentioned procrastination, in my mind, I said, "Wow, right." You know about making, trying to bring up procrastination as an excuse all the time, and in my mind, I just traveled in my memory, and I kind of pinpointed one thing in my life that happened when I was a little girl, and you know, growing up, and one of the issues, and so I'm like, wow, yeah, because you just keep, you know, we just keep saying, oh, you know, I got procrastination. I think that's like what you were saying, it's cop out, and I didn't think that way until you mentioned it, and I think you know, we just have to pray, you know, every minute, every second, and seek refuge in Allah when those demon thoughts or those inadequate thoughts um, come to our mind, and that slinking devil. And what Sister Tonisha, she reminded me of the food when how to eat to live. I know everybody is saying it, but the way she said it, you know, we have to watch what we definitely eat. I know we might think we eating the best of foods, and but it conflicts with our thoughts, and so I'm noticing with myself. I have a little health issue going on right now, but I notice it with myself, and not eating the navy bean like we supposed to all the time. But we gotta get back to what we eat, and then it'll help with our thoughts also. Thank you, Brother Ben. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Powerful, powerful, powerful. Well, family, I want to go to a quick to let you guys know what solution are we putting together for this. What are we doing to help us as a community with these things that's been stopping us and holding us back and keeping us in the same spot? And these are the type of things that we're going to be covering in building wealthy families. Some of you all were able to get a glimpse of what we're going to be teaching you guys and how we're going to be dealing with you all over this past weekend who attended the workshops, especially the VIP. But taking on this journey alone can be difficult. Learning all this stuff alone can be difficult. And when you have us doing this as a community, those who already kind of have overcame some of the things you overcame, it helps you get there a lot faster versus doing it alone. And so that's why Building Wealthy Families is 4 different programs, 4 different coaches, bringing it together, because different people have different things that they're dealing with. But we all as coaches are going to deal with self-improvement, health, things of that nature. As y'all get on with Brother Tay in the morning, you can see and hear it's not all about him trading. He talking about food. He's talking about diet. We're always mixing in the personal because that's the foundation to any type of physical, tangible success that we have. So I just want to give you guys who are not familiar with Building Wealthy Families, those of you all who are not in the program yet, just want to give y'all a glimpse of what you're kind of just missing out on, y'all, and just some solutions that we plan on bringing to the table for y'all. So I'm going to show y'all a few videos and let you guys know how you can get in if you even want to. All right, so here we go.
Yep. So I respectfully, I don't give you permission to be overwhelmed. Okay. I don't want you to feel that at all. It's just you're right now, you're currently in the unknown. And so the moment we actually get you into the known, you're going to have a clear checklist of how you're structured. You're going to have a clear checklist of what your due dates are. You're going to have a very clear checklist of what needs to be in place for you. So you don't need to be overwhelmed. The cool thing is you just started this business last year in May of 2023. So you're in the perfect position because as we're on these calls, we'll be able to comb through these things. And it's not like you're 10 years later trying to figure out how to learn these things. Yep. And then what will take place is after you send that information over, we are going to ask that anytime you guys ever send information over, you give us at minimum 3 to 5 business days for us to look over everything, calibrate a strategy, be able to identify what we need to know, and then we'll reach out to you. We'll get a call scheduled via Zoom or whatever our communication method is to be able to let you know what we gathered based off of what you sent over, and then your next steps. So you don't need to call anybody. You don't need to be overwhelmed, not even a little bit. You're just going to send that information over, and then from there, we're going to hop on a call and we're going to get an understanding and be able to tell you very clearly what your next steps are. Does that work for you, brother?
Yeah, that works.
Beautiful. Yep. I'm excited.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, I love that you said that because one of the things that I was putting in my notes this morning was teaching them to unlearn so that they can relearn first. Like even before we can teach them new information, even having a session on teaching them, first of all, 98% of the world don't even understand that the mind and brain is different. We don't even know that there's a conscious and subconscious. So some of us don't even know that what we're doing every day is just because we've been pre-programmed information. So if we go and just drop these gems, you have these gems, I have the gems, Brother Ben, Sister Courtney, it's literally like dropping seeds on uncultivated land. We can literally just go out in the middle of the desert, and the seeds still have the same energy and information. The energy and information in the seed never changes. But what changes is that the ground hadn't been cultivated yet. So it can't grow just sitting on the surface. Like what Brother Ben's saying, if they don't understand it, it's literally just sitting in a windowsill. It won't be until we can help them say, listen, we have to unlearn. So everything that you learned up until this point, we don't want to say it's wrong, but let's challenge it.
My calling, for sure, is I say I'm the translator.
Yep.
It's like, hey,
that's exactly what it is.
I'm going to take it from over here, fix
I
it
love
up,
how you said that.
you know, season it, and then I'm going to bring it over to our people. And so, yeah, it's definitely something that the reason why it's important is because when we like the small stuff, when you translate it, it opens up their mind to then go, stuff ain't as hard as I thought it was after all. Right? Then that's when they come in and they go, well, if he can translate it, somebody who looks like me and understands both brains, the financial world or whatever that world that I don't understand, and then they can bring it into the entertainment of what Black culture is. If they can do it, I can do it. And then that unleashes something in their brain to then start going, and then they start picking up annuities. And then it's like, yeah, estate planning this and da-da-da. And it's like, look at you.
So those are the conversations that we had the other day after our VIP session, just thinking about how can we better serve? How can we break this down? So I showed these videos and we posted so that y'all can see we didn't just, you know, create some course and say, here they go. All right, now we let them do what they do. Like, no, we're really putting together strategies and how we're going to go about doing it and how we're going to make it to where you guys understand it and how to best really make this something that's transformational, not just some good knowledge. Here, I know this knowledge. I know this about trading. I know this. Let's just dump it on them. No, how can we make sure y'all really, really, really understand it and digest this thing? Okay? So again, for those who don't know what BWF is, we're going to go to a quick presentation about what it's about, and then we're going to close out because we're going to be, those of y'all who are in BWF, y'all know we got another Zoom. We about to hop on at 9. So don't go nowhere. I've said this on the call a few times. It's been on my mind. As I shared in the video, it has been hard for me to move on because I have literally seen lives transform.
You guys, after that first class with the crash options, gave me more than I got out of 6 years of college and over 13 years in a career.
So BWO actually started in 2020. Things wasn't handled properly behind the scenes and things fell apart. I've been sitting back thinking like, bro, can that be rebuilt? But the foundation now would be spiritual. I appreciate y'all, man. It is because of y'all's support that I believe it can be done again. You all's backing, you all DMing me over the years, over the months we had the power call is why I feel safe that it can be rebuilt, and any help that I need, somebody can be there to help. I didn't drop no names. I wanted to surprise y'all, but he is. It is verified. You can research it. The #1 trader in the world. We bringing you the best of the best. Let me go ahead and show y'all. There you go. So as you guys can see on the screen, that's him right there. So if you're ready, Brother Tay.
I will judge a man on his character on how he treats his wife. Your wife, your mother, and your kids, that's like that's your house, your home. If you live in the dirty of your home, mess up what you got in that space, I don't stand a chance, and neither does anybody else. Because every time you push a button to buy or sell, you're thinking about your wife telling you that this is a scam. And so you can't even see the screen clear enough to say, okay, this is going in the direction I think it's going for or not. So there's a lot of things that you'll see me do, and the reasons why I do them is because I'm looking to build the whole trader. I'm gonna be asking what y'all eat. What's your diet looking like right now? You are what you eat, right?
So Sister Alexis, if you want to come up and kind of introduce yourself.
I am a licensed wealth strategist, professional day trader, and certified cryptocurrency expert. So like many of us on this call, you know, most of you have found Brother Ben because you're looking for something. There's like this burning desire that you have because you know it's time for another level and another layer. Really listening to the needs that the community had and some of the things that they were missing. Those are really the reasons why I've chosen to assist all of you.
shift from that of an average mind to a wealthy mind.
Many people in business, they keep whatever they believe in or God away. She makes sure that she stands on that and she keeps it at the forefront. Sister Courtney, what can they expect from you?
Something that you can expect from me is I consider myself a builder of a person first and then a builder of a business second. My goal is to serve, and I believe success leaves clues. But I believe if you operate with a moral integrity and God is the base of even when you want to be upset, when you want to be angry, when you feel wronged, if you use the God in you to guide you to do what's right, we can build 6 and 7 figure businesses if we're passionate about it and we're dialed in.
That's heaven right there, to have somebody that's adamant about making sure we in compliance, making sure things is done right, making sure things is done decent and in order. That's all she preaches, man, when it comes to this business stuff.
It was a program that one of your friends, whoever your affiliates was, that was doing. And then I just said, nah, this is not Brother Ben. I'm not going to do it. And I didn't do it. And then I just seen things just fall down. And that's what made me fall in love with you, your program, because of the teachings. And then you said something about ego. They edge God out. And I was like, that's it. God wasn't a part of this. And so I didn't feel comfortable. And so my daughter and I would watch you, and then Talia's like, Mommy, join on. That's Brother Ben. That's Brother Ben. And I said, yeah, we're going to do it this time because I feel God isn't a part of it.
Man, and ain't nothing more powerful than our unity. It is more powerful than an atom bomb. And as long as we stand together as a solid wall and stand on truth, we will make this thing happen, and we will build it bigger, stronger, better, and faster than we did the first time.
Woo! So, if y'all want to join on to building wealthy families and grow with us as a community, as a group, and you don't want to have to pay for all these different things separately and pay way more than what you have to, you can lock in with us, bwfuniversity.com, www.bwfuniversity.com. And just to give you guys an update of where we are, let me see. They may have knocked us out. They may have knocked us down some. So let me see. We are currently number 14 in the world as far as community. Let me show you guys. As far as a growing community, we are number 14 in the world. Let me show y'all. Let me give y'all this update. Now, again, our goal is to get in top 10. We'll be the only black people in top 10 this month, I think. Hold on. Let's look at it. I may be wrong, but if y'all can help us get there, I'm telling y'all, we're going to bring this information back to you. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on, here we go. So look, this is where they are. Let me show y'all. So here's the leaderboard right here. All right. All these, you don't see no black people up there, right? No. Boom, there we go. We right there. So we dang near the only black people in the top 20. So look, y'all, we top 14 in the world as far as the growth of the communities this month. So come on, y'all. Come on, join on to us. We're building wealthy families. We number 14. The goal is to be top 10. We got to be top 10 before the end of June, y'all. So we getting there, y'all. We getting there. We the only black folks in the top 20 in the world for this month's growth. So man, come on with it, y'all. That's www.bwfuniversity.com, man. And if we get there, we win it, man. We need to do something. We need to celebrate that. So maybe somebody get a gift. Also, Sister Randisha, maybe we can do this. No, I'll be here tomorrow. I'll be here tomorrow. I may not be here Friday, y'all. I'm going to be speaking with Dame Dash, Brother Aziz, and Sister Iman in Georgia. So I'll be in Georgia this week. I'll be with Dame. We're gonna be speaking at the I don't want to get it wrong. Jekyll Island. What is it called? Jekyll Island, wherever the Federal Reserve was started, something like that. Gonna be speaking there in Georgia this week. And somebody asked for the website. That's www.bwfuniversity.com. And yeah, I think that's everything. So I keep y'all updated every day about where we are, man. But this thing is growing, and obviously there are people here that's already inside the program that can bear witness to the impact that it's already had on their lives. People have already been there in person, and it's already impacting. So take the leap, family, or y'all can go elsewhere. It's your choice. I don't want to pressure you guys, but I do. I'm just here to show you guys that we are coming up with a solution to help us and help you with things that we're going through. So yeah, Jekyll Island. There it is, Jekyll Island. It's going to be on Friday, June 14th. Friday, June 14th. Yeah. Okay. So peace, family, and y'all have a blacktastic day. Out.
Is Brother Ben here? Brother Ben. Now, Ben got a heck of a program. A lot of people listening to Brother Ben. And Ben tells them about the minister. And Ben tells them about the minister.